Hello, my subject here, Michelle, is looking to do some exercises to build some strength into our upper body. We're going to do some functional movement screening first, followed later by some warm-up and cool-down based around this, with particular emphasis around the shoulders. Michelle's found some tightness in the past. This is possibly due to keyboard work and driving. So the following two screening exercises will help us to direct us to any issues in upper body movement that can be addressed in a training programme. Both of these functional movement screening exercises will be accompanied by a clearing test to identify any areas of pain that may need further evaluation before starting such a programme. During all the exercises, I've asked Michelle to let me know if she experiences any pain, and at the moment she's not experiencing any pain anyway.
No.
So the first functional movement screen we're going to do is the shoulder mobility screen. It's very important as we're working around shoulders today. This is one of the primitive motor patterns that will give us an indication of the range of motion in both shoulders as well as some spinal mobility. The most important thing early on is to get a measurement of Michelle's hand from the wrist to the most distal point at the end of the finger, which we're going to do now. So on her right hand, that is 17 centimetres. We're just going to do the left hand as well. It should be very similar, and it is. And now, if you can hold that please, Michelle. What I'm going to ask you to do is to put both hands in a fist. First of all, we're going to test the right shoulder, so we have the right hand. I'm going to put that behind my neck, and then the left hand I move behind my back. And we're looking for the distance between the two fists. So Michelle's now going to replicate that. Two fists, and we're going to now measure the difference. The distance here is 17 centimetres. I'm just going to ask Michelle to, if you do the same hand please, Michelle, we're going to try it for 3 times, keeping the fists together. And we've seen a big difference there straight away, from 17 centimetres to about 7 centimetres. I'm going to try that one more time. And we're about 7 centimetres again. If Michelle had been more than 17 centimetres, then she wouldn't have actually passed that test straight away. We'd have to go to the next stage to see if it's 1.5 times her hand, her width from her hand. So she's passed that. We're now going to do the other side. The left on top. So that is 15 centimetres. Just going to get to try it one more time. And 15 centimetres again. So again, it's less than the width of her hand across. She's passed that particular test. We don't have to move on any further. There's obviously a bit more movement mobility on her right side, though, judged by those movements. So following the shoulder mobility test, we now have to do the shoulder impingement clearing test. We're just looking to see if there's any pain recorded here as we do this. So Michelle's going to follow me here, and I'm putting my right palm on my left shoulder. And now we're just keeping the palm on the shoulder. We're trying to raise the elbow as high as possible. And are we feeling any pain on that? No pain?
No.
That's okay. And then we're going to do the opposite side. So palm on shoulder and raising elbow up. Any pain?
No.
No pain recorded there, so that's a negative test and a pass. So scoring that altogether, we've got 3 points, a full point on full scores on the shoulder mobility test. Okay, so now we're going to do the trunk stability push-up here to see how Michelle's core engages here and helps his body move to move as one unit without any compensations. I'm going to demonstrate now, assuming a prone position. I'm going to assume for this, as we're doing Michelle, that I'm using women's positions, but I'll explain what men's positions are as we come down. So I'm fully prone on the floor. Now, my hands want to be shoulder width apart and palms on the floor. If I was doing this from a men's perspective, my thumbs would now be at the level of my forehead. but as we're in the women's position, I want Michelle to be having her thumbs at the level of her chin. My toes are on the floor, my knees are off the floor, and I'm driving my toes towards my knees and then trying to push myself up and down, which Michelle is now going to try. So we want to be at chin level.
No.
And we're going to do 2 more tries at that now.
No.
1 more try.
No.
So now we're going to try by moving our thumbs down to shoulder level. Try the same motion.
No.
You want 2 more tries?
No. No.
No. No. So Michelle was unable to complete at both levels there. So she would have not passed on that one. We've had a score of 1 there, providing we will see how she gets on now if she has pain in the clearing test. But this shows that she can't, her core can't engage properly with the rest of her body as her back doesn't quite come up, the chest comes up first and there forms an arch in the back as she's doing so. Okay, we've done the trunk stability push-up and now we have to follow that with the spinal extension clearing test. And we're just looking again to see if there's any pain involved in this one. So to do this, we lie on the stomach, our hands are going to be palms down under our shoulders, and we're just looking here to press the chest off the floor without moving the lower part of our body. Almost like a cobra position in yoga. Michelle, now try that. And is there any pain experienced
No.
there? So she's no pain experienced, but she didn't pass the initial trunk stability test. We're going to score that as a 1. Okay, now we're going into the warm-up phase of the exercise, which we're going to do with Michelle. We're looking to prepare for an upper body workout with an emphasis on strengthening the shoulders, and we're going to use the RAMP protocol. This consists of raising, to increase the heart rate and body temperature initially. That'll be followed by activate, where we start activating the muscle groups and particularly the shoulders here. Then mobilise, which is going to start trying to increase the range of motion that we're going to use, and to potentiate, increasing the intensity of the warm-up to prepare for the upcoming exercise. So the raise part, where we're trying to raise the body temperature, is where I use the rowing machine here. This is my go-to exercise for nearly all muscle groups to start increasing the heart rate and get the body warmer. It's using nearly all of the body, so it's good for the first part of the warm-up for so many different types of sessions. It's not specifically aimed at the shoulders, but the shoulders are getting plenty of involvement here, so it's still going to work well. And Michelle, who's watching me at the moment as I do this, we're going to get caught set up properly for the rowing, and we're just going to pull the rower back without overextending our back, just into our body, and then coming in as close as possible with a nice fluid movement. And now we're going to prepare Michelle for that exercise. We can stop. Okay, so Michelle's now set up on the rowing machine, and she's just going to start some rowing. First long strokes, the back isn't overextending. No set time limit on this, we're just doing it until we're starting to feel that our muscles are warmed up without overtiring ourselves on it before we start doing something else. Okay, now we're on to the activate part of the warm-up, where we're trying to start concentrating on activating the shoulders a bit more now. I'm going to use resistance bands for this, and we're going to do a band pull apart. This is going to start to work both the shoulder and the upper back musculature. Rotator cuffs, rear delts, traps, rhomboids are all needing to do a bit of work here. So I'm going to use a bit of choice of grips here. I don't want to be using a supinated underhand grip though, because that's going to work my biceps rather more than my shoulders. I'm going to be looking for an overhand grip. Michelle can see, I'm looking for an overhand grip. And what I'm going to do, if Michelle can watch, is just start arms in front, so, and just stretch apart as wide as possible. I'll show this on the rear view as well. We should be able to see my shoulders fully at work. Michelle, now if you want to. And shoulders, I can see working there. We do that maybe about 10 times just for in the warm-up, just to get the activation started. So now we're moving into the mobilised stage of the warm-up, and shoulder rolls are what I'm looking for here, which are going to try to increase the range of motion of our shoulders. So facing each other, and we're just bringing the shoulders round back, like so. We'll do that about 10 times, and then we're going to switch over and go forward. Like so. And that should start to mobilise the shoulders. So now we're looking at the final stage of the warm-up to potentiate, and I'm going to use my resistance band here, and we're going to do face pulls, which are a good option to start working there a bit more on the shoulders as the final part of the warm-up. We're going to get rear delts, traps, upper back muscles all activated here, and what we're doing is just getting a good stretch in the band and then looking to pull the band back to increase tension, and we're stretching the band back until we hit face level and then returning. Michelle would like to try that. And we'll just have an overhand grip. And if you want to walk around, Michelle, we can probably just see the shoulder muscles working as we do so. Okay, that completes our ramp warm-up session, and we'll now be ready to start doing a proper shoulder routine and upper body work. Okay, now we've done our full shoulder exercise by now, and we're going into a cool down phase. And there's a couple of exercises we're going to do here to start sort of giving some light relief to our muscles after all the work we'll be doing. It's going to involve some stretching here, but only at a light intensity. And the first one we're going to do is a child's pose, which is a similar yoga-like position. Michelle wants to follow me. We're going to kneel. Our feet are together, and we're going to sort of come down, bring our knees slightly apart, and we're trying to push our chest down towards our knees and stretching our shoulders at the same time. Do that until we feel a stretch, relax a little bit, and then we're going to stretch out again. We'll probably do this about 5 or 6 times just to feel the stretch coming through. Okay, the last part of our cool down is another stretch now. We're going to do a cross shoulder stretch, which is going to stretch out the back of our shoulders and the rotator cuff area. And to do that, we're going to stand upright. We're going to have one arm across our body, parallel to the floor, keeping our arm straight, and we're going to pull that arm in with our other arm into our body, just until we feel the stretch on the back of our shoulders. Feeling that now? And then we're going to switch over to the other side and do the same. That's the cross shoulder stretch. That's the end now of our cool down and our shoulder session.